Hello everybody, this is Ananya, and now that we've finished studying for loops and while loops in Python, let's study about nested loops in Python. Let's get started.
What are nested loops? Now nested loops are very similar to nested if statements. The only difference is you are basically running the same code again and again till a certain condition becomes false. Just the way we had if inside if, similarly we have for inside for. That we both there are both nested for loops and nested while loops also, but in this lecture we'll just be practicing nested for loops. Y'all can try out while loops by yourself. So let's look at the syntax. It's pretty similar like nested if. You have for some condition, inside it you again have another for condition, and then you tell the code, the compiler, to do something. Okay, so basically a nested loop has an inner loop inside it. Now the first pass of the outer loop, this is the outer loop, this is the inner loop. So the first pass of the outer loop triggers the inner loop, and on completion of the inner loop it breaks this inside for loop and executes the code reserved for the outer for loop, and it again, the console, like the operation, goes back to the outer for loop, and then again it comes inside, executes the inner for loop. It goes on and on till the outer for loop condition becomes totally false. Okay, let's look at it using an example. What it says here is, for I in range 1, 3, inside that you have for j in range 1, 4, print I into j. This is the output 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. Now we look at a hand run of this code so y'all can understand how is it basically working. Let me just open the slide here. Okay. What happens is, for I in range 1, 3, so we know that I is currently 1. I is equal to 1 in the beginning. Next it comes inside the for loop and j is given the value 1. So now j becomes 1. Now we are saying print I is equal to j. Now if you notice, this print is inside this inner for loop and also inside the outer for loop. So this print statement will go on continuing until j is out of range. So we get the output 1. Next it executes the inner for loop. So now I remains 1 and j becomes 2. So now what we'll get is 1 into 2, that is 2. Next again I remains 1 and j now becomes 3. Our output becomes 3. Now since the range is up to 4, it will stop at 3. It will break from the inner for loop and it goes to the outer for loop here. So for I in range 1, 3, now I becomes 2. Okay, I becomes 2. Now it goes inside in the inner for loop and j again restarts from 1. Okay, so now I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 1. So what it gives us, 2 into 1, that is 2. Okay, now if we have it continues inside the second loop itself because the condition is not out of range yet. I remains 2 and now j becomes 2, which gives us 4. Similarly, now j becomes 3 and I is still 2, so 2 into 3 gives you 6. Okay, so this is how nested for loops work. It's might seem a little complicated right now, but as and when you all go on practicing various problems, you all will get a hang of it and it becomes really simple. It helps develop a lot of logic. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try out a practical example. So what we want to do is we want to print the multiplication tables from 1 to 5. So it should print the tables of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up to 1 into 10, 2 into 10 till there. Okay, let's see how we can do this. You all can try out various other programs, search for other programs where nested loops are required, or as and when you all will be doing bigger codes, you all will have to use loops. Also during, maybe if you all do some matrix programs, their nested loops are a must. You need them. You all can try practicing that also. Okay, let's name this nested loops. Now since I want the tables from 1 to 5, let me just give a for loop saying in range 1 comma 6. Now why 1 comma 6? Because I wanted to print the tables from 1 to 5. Now I'd say for j in range 1 comma 11. Why 11? Because I wanted to print up to 1 into 1, 1 into 2, 1 into 3 and so on up to 1 into 10. That is why I am giving for j in range 1 comma 11. Now I simply say k is equal to I into j. You all can try hand running this just the way I just showed you all. You all can try hand running it for a couple of times so it helps you all understand. Okay, now I will say I'll just print it. Okay, and last class I had shown how to print in the same line instead of having a new line every time. We just give the end is equal to space. Okay, this solves our problem, and every new table should be printed in a new line, right? We don't want all the tables in the same line, so we say print /n, so it gives us a new line. It works also without /n. You just give a print with nothing inside it, it'll work. Let's try this now. Okay, we got the tables. Let me just enlarge it. Okay, see, you have the tables from 1 to 5, each in a different row. Okay, this is how nested loops work. This is the only example I'm showing you all. You all can try out many other statements, like many other problems. Try out, find more examples and keep practicing. Alright, next lecture will be about loop control statements, and by that we will end the session on Python loops. Alright, see you next time. Bye bye.